So, good morning, everyone. The video that I'm planning on bringing to you guys today is going to be based off of the subject of Wu Wei. And for those of you who are not familiar, Wu Wei, in rough translation, by definition, is the art of doing things by non doing. And I know to many of you guys that seems like, oh, that just sounds like laziness. That sounds like just, you know, not doing anything, just being relaxed and hoping that everything is getting resolved to this, and that. But in the depths of what Wu Wei really is, it's kind of like being in a flow state. You're being in a flow with how things end up occurring in life, and you're learning how to move with it. Best way that one of the best examples that I can kind of bring to it is if you've ever tried to do a Rubik's cube, or you've seen someone do a Rubik's cube. All right, you will see them as they're like building it. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you have one side, what are you doing? You're breaking apart this side. Or you'll be halfway through doing an algorithm and you're like, well, why does it look all funky? It's supposed to start getting, it's supposed to start falling into place. And we get discouraged, and then we're like, oh, this doesn't work, it's impossible, and we leave it off to the side. And the whole entire reason why I bring this up is anybody who's tried to do either of these two things, either seen a Rubik's Cube being done without knowing how it is resolved, or has tried to accomplish it, knows that it's going to get a lot messier before it starts to get organized. It means you're going to have to break up something that may already be complete to you, but isn't the whole picture. It's not the whole completion. You're trying to complete everything at once, as opposed to just one side. And the reason why I bring this to the table is because we face problems in life, and like a Rubik's Cube, it will get messier before things start falling into place. And when you follow the natural flow of how things move, you'll realize, okay, although it may appear bad right now, I'm following the flow. I'm following the algorithm that I need to continue on moving forward. I know it's going to resolve itself out. And eventually, following that flow, that algorithm, you will see that the things that you were stressed out about, the things that were frustrating you, have found a convenient way to resolve themselves without you having to force the situation into submission. And I think that's the main takeaway from what Wu Wei is, and the practice of Wu Wei, and how it ends up helping us out. It is finding the natural flow of things so that we do not force the situation to be what we want, but we flow with the situation until we get to where we want to be. Um, a good example that I can bring into this is the example of Ip Man and Bruce Lee. If you guys are on the know, Ip Man was Bruce Lee's teacher, and he oftentimes quoted the difference between an oak tree and bamboo. And against a strong wind, eventually an oak tree will break and fall over. Yet bamboo has the ability to be rigid when it needs to be and flow and still move with the current as it ends up rolling. And this allows it to bend as opposed to not break. Bruce Lee furthered this more and used the metaphor of water, which is the way that water ends up adapting towards anything in its path. When it's flowing through a current and there's any obstruction in the way, it finds a way to move around it. It finds a way to make room for whatever rock lands within, let's say, the river or creek. If it needs to get from point A to point B, and point B just happens to be through your living room, then it'll find a way through a crack in the ceiling. Water always finds a way to overcome, but it's not a living thing. It doesn't force by pressure. It just navigates. It runs with the flow of how life ends up rolling. And eventually you'll find yourself at the right place at the right time and doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's how water works. And we, in this state of Wu-Wei, function in the very same way. We will see situations come forth to us in our day-to-day basis where normally we would stress out about. And when we find this flow state, it's the equivalence of knowing how far your reach is. You will extend your reach as far as you can, but you realize I can't extend it any further. So maybe it's not my place to do any more than what I'm doing right now. I know the situation shall be resolved in XY way. This that I'm dealing with right now has to occur for something unforeseen that's going to come later on down the road, and then I will know how to resolve the situation. You can't resolve a solution, you can't resolve a problem, better said, without first knowing the solution. And sometimes we want to force a solution that just doesn't work over the problem. But being patient, moving with the flow of time, allows the solution to come to you, and you're like, you know what? I didn't think of that before. Maybe I could use this here now. It's a form of a way. So, what am I speaking to this? A lot of us, like I said, we might look at this practice and get it confused with it's the art of just being relaxed and being lazy and just not doing nothing and just wishing for answers to fall from the sky. But what it really is moving in the same kind of flow of how things occur, knowing that if something shows up of inconvenience, it might be an inconvenience at the moment, but there's always something to learn, to gain from it. I like to think of it as there's no such thing. Hey, Bow Bow. There's no such thing as a mistake. You either end up winning or you learn. And that's essentially the beauty of it. Um, Now, what is it finding balance in between, being away, the art of doing and not doing? And essentially it's that. It's finding a middle ground of where where your actions where time recalls for your action and when a time recalls for your analysis as opposed to an action. Especially in today's society, human beings have the tendency of being more reactive as opposed to responsive. Being reactive means that the situation dominates you and you're going to react to whatever is put in front of you. If you get treated unjustly before you even think the process is out, you're already um, pushing back with the same energy that you've been given. Where a response is more of an analysis of the situation. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm being treated unfairly at this moment, but is is it me who's taking this too personally? Like, is this person coming at me and attacking me, or is it that they're feeling some type of way because so and so and whatnot, and like I'm the outlet? You know what I mean? Um, and is reacting the same way that this person is reacting towards me really going to help me out? Like, does it really solve the solution? Does it benefit? Does it help out at all? No. Sometimes it's just best to leave it as is, ignore the person, keep on walking. Apologies. Keep on walking, and then go to head forward towards what you need to go to. And most of the circumstances in our lives will put us in situations like that where we have the choice to be reactive or responsive. And finding the balance the do, in between the do and do not. This is where the flow of Wu Wei lies. And I'm hoping that this video that I am bringing to you guys kind of gives you like food for thought. Just not only on the subject at hand, but like how to apply it in modern day society, maybe for your benefits and whatever it is that you do, whether it's at work, whether it's um your day-to-day chores, whether it's life with your family, with your relationships, just the art of going with the flow, just rolling with things. um I hope this makes this helps all of you in simplicity and helping you out, living more a less resistance filled life is what I would like to say, and just be at ease. That being said, that's all I have time for today. And with all the love in the world, I'm hoping this shines some light on you guys. It helps you guys out. You guys can put it into practice, and it brings any benefits towards your ways. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. All in all, is like I said before, these videos are being put on here for the purpose to help whoever it can, and if it can, and if not, I don't consider it a waste of time because I feel like I'm learning here along with you guys as I end up doing these. So with that being said, I'm grateful for any of you guys who are watching, and until next time, love you.